Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ronald Couming of both RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients using various Internet marketing techniques and methods to achieve even greater success. The format of this show, we basically have two different formats. The first format is, and in no particular order, we'll have subject matter experts come on, and they'll talk about, yes, what they're a subject matter expert in, but more important to the listeners, I would think, is how they became successful in business. This whole show is about Internet marketing and business solutions. So when you hear people who have become successful already, hearing how they became successful and the trials and tribulations that they went through, and being able to see them and avoid them, or if you're in them, know a potential solution. So they give us tips on different things, depending upon different entrepreneurs or business owners' levels. You know, I'll ask them for like a couple of tips here and there and some other stuff. And then the second part is I will give actionable tips to help you achieve even greater success using various Internet marketing techniques, totally free. And that's what we're going to do today. Today we're going to have two episodes of just tips. And the first one's going to be tips for building a user-friendly website. And then the second episode, which will be coming on about 11:30, 11:35 after commercials, that one will be about how to increase your engagement in social media. And that's, you know, especially with all the changes going on with Facebook and Twitter and all these other ones. So it's super important. And it's totally free again, so just tune in and listen. And just so you know, lastly, before I go into these tips, every episode is archived on the radio station, WCAP 980 AM's website. You just get to their website and you'll see archives, or you go up to the right-hand corner and you'll see our shows, and you'll see Internet Marketing and Business Solutions with Ronald Couming. And every show that I've done for like the last 2 years will be there. It will also be up on both my websites, RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions. So if for some reason you hear something and you're unable to write it down, or you want to tune in again, or you can't hear it today, you can go back and listen to it multiple times. Same with the interviews we do with people. So it's a long introduction, but hopefully it gave you some good info. And so now, tips for building a user-friendly website. I have written some material that I'm going to read, and then I'm going to speak ad lib. I wanted to make sure I got some points across, so that's why I actually wrote it down, so I didn't forget or gloss over anything. I want these tips to be as impactful and useful as possible for you guys, so I don't want to skip over anything. So tips for building a user-friendly website. Before the phrase user-friendly was created, website developers and users didn't have a key phrase for designing a well-made website. Instead, they described each feature which made the website so easy to use. On the other hand, a poorly made website was defined as one where the design aspects and development features did not quite meet users' expectations. Today, users are extremely demanding when it comes to websites and website design and functionality, as they should be. With so many new, remarkable web design and development trends and tools emerging almost daily, landing on a so-and-so's website or a so-so website is just plain disappointing. If your website makes it difficult for users to find what they're looking for, if it's filled with both broken links or it takes them too long to load, it might not do well, and it certainly might not even exist after a period of while. So to keep users on your website, encourage them to return, it is no longer a suggestion that you invest in a user-friendly design. It is a requirement. We've gathered a list of proven techniques to maximize the user's experience by building an intuitive and user-friendly website. Please keep in mind that Google and all the other search engines, their job is not really, they don't host our websites, and they really don't care about business owners, entrepreneurs, or any of us. What they care about is their clients. And their clients are the people who pull up Google, or whatever search engine. I'm just going to talk about Google because they're the big dog, but this applies to all of them. Their clients are the ones who pull up Google and do a search, or they click their talk button and do a search via audio. They just talk into it and do the search. So that's what they're focusing on. They want to make sure that the user's experience is excellent, because that's how they make their money. They have more users coming back, more people pay more for advertising, right? So it's all about eyeballs and it's all about dollars. So if a user gets to your website, one of the things that Google uses in determining who they're going to pull up is what they call bounce rate. And in that bounce rate is that if somebody gets to your website and they hit your website, and by hit I mean land on it, they hit your website and then they leave in like 3 seconds. Usually that means that they didn't find what they were looking for. So Google will penalize you over time. And, I don't mean penalize you by put you in a box, but I mean penalize you by the algorithms will start to pull you up less often because for those keywords or those search terms, because the user bounced off. So the user's experience wasn't good because they didn't find what they were looking for. All right? So you want to make sure there's a lot that goes into. Just because you have a website and you have a business card doesn't mean people are going to find you. You still need to do your on-page SEO and your off-page SEO, or it's like having a house on the hill. And if people are driving by, that's great. If they look up, they can actually see it. If they know where it is, they know where to take that left or right. But you got 10,000 people driving by and 200 are actually stopping. So, that's the whole point of SEO. But the most important part is when they get to your site, is it what they're looking for, and are they able to find? If somebody has to go through 3 or 4 clicks to get to something and then read, 5 paragraphs to get to what they want, that's not a good user experience. So let's start with the first part here, designing with the user in mind. When building out your sitemap, your goal should be to keep it as intuitive and as simple as possible. Name each page appropriately and make sure that the sub-navigation relates to its main navigation option. If you have a larger sitemap, create a utility navigation, a smaller navigation bar found in the top right of some websites to avoid overcrowding the main navigation bar. Now, what that basically means is your main navigation up top would be, just as an example, would be About Us, Services, Contact Page, whatever else is up on the top, Resources. And then you have the drop-down menu. Somebody clicks on that, and then the menus drop down. You want people to be able to click and find things, very, very easily. And also possibly have a search bar up on the right-hand corner so people can just type in a term, and every time on that website the term comes up, those pages will come up after they click in the search. So here's some recommended tips for designing a user-friendly website for your business. The first one is build a responsive or mobile-first design. Users need to be able to navigate through your site easily, regardless of the device that they are viewing it on. Your navigation should be easy to find and useful on any device. It can be designed to be responsive, or you can use a mobile-first design approach. Google has been going to mobile-first for quite a while. I mean, it has been going to mobile-friendly for quite a while, going back, I think, 2016, maybe, April, 2016, April 21st, I believe it was, where they said that it's going to pull up, it's going to favor mobile-friendly sites. And then now, where we're at now is now they're really favoring a mobile-first design opposed to a desktop or a laptop design. Approximately 90 or 86% of all searches now for Google are done on some type of a tablet or a mobile device. So your website doesn't need to be just mobile-friendly. Or responsive. It also has to have a mobile-first design approach. So think about, your users are going to be using their phones, little screens. So you want to make sure that your design equates with that and formats down for that. You also want to keep your navigation simple. Simplicity in website design and development is not a new concept. However, today's users want and need things as simple and as intuitive as possible. Instead of coming up with complex page names and multi-level navigations, name each page appropriately and clearly and keep sub-navigations to a minimum when possible. So you want your name, your website name, so whatever it is. So let's say, it's relatively simple, services are services. So let's say you're going to RCS Online Solutions /services. That would be my service page, and that would outline the services. But then there would be individual services. So if we had, it might be RCS Online Solutions /SEO services or services -SEO. You want to keep the URLs up top. You want to keep them simple, but you also want to keep them descriptive, not just for the user, but the search engines. When they're searching for a result to pull up, when they actually hit a website, they start from the top down. So they actually start from the URL, that shows up and then works its ways down from the top to the bottom of the website. So you want to have your keywords. In this case, let's say it was SEO services. You want to, SEO stands for search engine optimization. So let's say you want to have SEO services as that's what that page is about. So you want to make sure that's in your URL. And then the first part of that page, you should have like your header tags, header 1, header 2, header 3. So your header tag, your first one, the biggest one, should be SEO services. And then maybe even describe underneath it, search engine optimization services or whatever it is, because not everybody knows what SEO is, right? So that way there you're actually being more descriptive. But you also want to be clear in what you're doing, but you don't want it to be too cluttered. And you, maybe even just go search engine optimization and then in parentheses SEO services or something like that. But just make sure it's clear and remember that the search engines, the bots, go from the top down. So have your keywords as close to the top as possible, and also make it user-friendly. And however you're listing your keywords, you don't want to be stuffing keywords in there just because the search engines are going to be looking for them from the top down. We know this, but they also know that. So that's called like keyword stuffing. So you want your keywords to be useful to the person hitting that page, right, landing on that page. You want them keywords to flow. It's natural. It's conversational. You know what I mean? So you don't want it to just be keyword stuff because you'll actually get penalized for that. So let's talk about how to make your logo easy to find. Don't make users hunt for your logo or brand identity. Users expect your logo to be on the top left-hand corner of your website, so give them what they want. This allows users to identify your brand easily. Your logo should also be clickable and to direct users back to the home page from wherever they are on your website. So again, using the example of search engine or SEO services, somebody's on my SEO services page or whatever, if you're selling pet food, and so now they're on your organic dog food page, and then your logo's up in the upper left-hand corner, they would then click on that, and it would take them back to the home page. It's not too hard to do. These are just little things, but they make a big difference. And some of them sound like they're common sense, but I got to tell you, I own a digital marketing company. I actually own 2 of them, and it is more often than not when we get a website in, we do what's called a website analysis, and that tells us all the deficiencies that's holding them back from being indexed in the search engines, from really indexing them and promoting them to people potentially searching for their products and services. And, half the stuff I'm telling you right now is just not even on the website. You know what I mean? So it's amazing. But, that's why, you have Wix and you have Squarespace, and people are putting these sites together and they think they have a website and they're saving a couple $100, but they're really losing tens of thousands of dollars in business because they just are making rookie mistakes. So, and now the next one, I just got a text. So make your website lightning fast. Slow loading websites don't cut it today. If your website doesn't load in 3 seconds or less, you're going to lose visitors. According to a study done by DoubleClick by Google, 53% of mobile site visitors were abandoned. Visits were abandoned if a page took longer than 3 seconds to load. The same study found that sites loading within 5 seconds had 70% longer sessions, 35% lower bounce rates, and 25% higher ad viewability than sites taking nearly 4 times longer at 19 seconds. So that's crazy. If your site's loading up at 19 seconds, or even if it's loading up at 10 seconds, there are plugins that you can use, but you want to get rid of the crap. If and here's an idea, you can go to Google PageSpeed and just put in your URL, and don't just put in your URL for your homepage, put in the URL for your other pages too, because this will tell you what your speed is. And you can also just pull up your phone and, type in your website and see how long it takes. And just remember that if it's taken longer than 3 seconds, 53% of people are leaving. So if they will get to 5%, of the 47% that stay to 5 seconds, 70% will stay longer, 35% have a lower bounce rate, and 25% higher ad viewability. So that's at 5. So if you can get yours at 3 or less, you're going to have even better results. So keep that in mind. And again, I want to let you know, at RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions, I keep saying the double names, but in November I'm switching to RCS Online Solutions. For me, it's more descriptive, sort of like what I'm talking to you about now. When people hear RCS Technology Solutions, we used to also, in addition to doing online marketing and digital media, we used to do a lot of managed services. We had doctors' offices, lawyers' offices, Huntington Theater in Boston. I was part of the team that worked on them. And so we worked on a lot of large companies and handled all their computers and servers and stuff. I've actually done work for Homeland Security, but, several years ago, almost a decade now, we've gone strictly into the into the online marketing. But my name, RCS Technology Solutions, isn't as descriptive as it could be. When people hear that, they know it's something technology related, but it doesn't necessarily tell them that it's online marketing related, online internet marketing related, right? So I'm switching I've already had the website. It's been up for a couple of years now, and obviously I've modified it and made sure all the code and everything is up to date. But so RCS Online Solutions is going to be my company's name. But this goes back to you, that your name, people shouldn't have to guess at what you do. When they hear your company's name, they should know what it is you do, what services you provide. And to be honest with you, I have RCS Digital Marketing .com. I have RCS Website Solutions, RCS SEO Solutions. I have 10 websites, and they're all fully functional, and they're all totally separate and distinct content, different servers. But I'm going with the RCS Online Solutions because we have all different online solutions. So when thinking about your URL, your company's name, just try to think that when someone hears it, keep in mind it's about buyer match solution, right? You want a BMS. What is the buyers, what are they thinking? Not what you're thinking, not what sounds good. Some of the biggest ways you're going to lose money is saying, yeah, but I like the way it sounds. Another biggest way that you're going to lose money is when you say, I think this, right? it's all about the buyer. So think about what the buyer, it's not about you. The buyer cares about what's in it for me, WIFM. They don't care about the pretty picture of you. They don't care about all your business accolades. And I don't mean this in a negative way. What they really want to know is if they choose you and do business with you, what are the results that they're going to get? What solutions are you going to provide? Then secondary, depending upon the industry, they will look to see if you have the appropriate certifications or qualifications if it's required. But please keep in mind, when you're creating your material, think about the user. When the user sees it, what are they going to think and feel? And match that. That's what you're like. If you go to rcsonlinesolutions.com, you will see right off the bat, you've got 6 or 7 seconds to hold people, and this is an example. So when you get there, you will see it says, attract, convert, and retain your ideal customers and clients. That's the first thing they see, because it's about them. It's not about, we've gotten, hundreds of people on the first page of Google. I have people who have made millions of dollars from our SEO services. I have people, email marketing, all the accolades, all the certificates, all the awards and stuff that we've gotten. I don't have it, that's not what they see first. That's on other pages, should they decide to go looking for it. But right off the bat, you only have a certain amount of time to attract their attention. And what you want to do right off the bat is let them know the results and solutions you provide and the problems you're going to solve for them. I'm telling you, I make hundreds of dollars an hour for business coaching, and you guys are getting all this stuff for free. And there's a lot more, I can only, in these shows, I'm giving you tips and stuff, so there's only so much. I have courses, I have groups, and so there's only so much I can condense down into these segments, but please take advantage of it. It's totally free, and it's 100% actionable. So we've already talked about building a responsive or mobile-first website with navigation. Keeping your navigation simple, make your logo easy to find, and make it clickable, right? Now we talked about making your website lightning fast, and you can also go to Google, just type into Google page speed, right? Go to Google, type in page speed test, and there Google's tester will come up. And you kind of want to use Google's because they're not trying to sell you anything. They're just trying to help you provide the best user experience to their client. So if you go to somebody else, they may give you results and then tell you to hire them so they can fix it. So, try to go to, when you're doing stuff like this, you want to go to somebody who doesn't have skin in the game, that they're just going to give you totally objective information. So, and I don't want to say lastly, I have a couple more things to go here, but include clear call to action. Super important. If people don't know what to do, oftentimes you'll tell them whatever you tell them, but then you don't say contact me for more information. If you don't have crystal clear call to actions, you can actually lose somebody, because then even though they got what you said, in that next split second, the dog barked, the kid screamed, the phone rang, whatever, and now their attention was broken, right? So sometimes visitors need to be encouraged or reminded of what your business wants them to do on a specific page. While it may seem clear to you what action is required and recommended on a particular page, there's no reason to let your visitors wonder. By adding a clear call to action on every page in the most clickable areas, you'll drive visitors to take actions you want them to. So here's a few examples of clear call to actions. Click here to order. Download now. Contact us. Get a quote. Learn more about X. Get your free X. And I want to go back to click here to order. You don't want to really say click here to order. You might want to say click here to invest. Click here to enroll. You know what I mean? Because order is kind of like somewhat of a negative term. So you want clear. Download now. Contact us. Get a quote. Learn more here. Get your free book here. Whatever it is, and make that link clickable. And I have, if you look on my sites, you'll see I have sidebars, and in the sidebars, I have links to the top of the pages, but I also have a contact us form on every single page. And you just create the sidebar one time, and it's on every page, right? So it does take a while, but you can set it up one time and then just choose the sidebar on whatever page you want. Make your content easy to digest. Use language that is simple and concise and include headers, subheaders, bullets, and formatting techniques to make it easy for readers to skim your content. Also avoid using industry jargon whenever it's possible. While it's okay to use words that show you're an expert in your field, it's important to understand the knowledge level of your audience and to write first and foremost for them. Again, it's about them, not you. I can't tell you how many times when the cloud came out and people, I almost want to say, were so pretentious. They would sit there and talk about the cloud, right? So the cloud, really, if people want to know what the cloud is, have you ever sent an attachment in Google, in an email? So if you sent an attachment in an email, that attachment is now in the cloud. All it means is it's sitting on a server somewhere outside your environment. It's not on your laptop. It's not on your backup drive, right? So, but you would have people sitting there, and I'd be laughing because I was doing managed services at the time, and they'd have their shoulders back and their chest, and they'd be talking like they were so intelligent and charging people crazy money. So when you hear people starting to throw around industry jargon, wonder if it's necessary or if they're trying to impress you. And if they're trying to impress you, that usually means they're trying to upcharge you, right? So make your content easy to digest. Balance text with media. Pitches is huge. If you want to, pitches, and it's not just like pitches tell 1,000 stories, but if you can create symbols for things, and people will equate them with the symbols and steps. And so today's website visitors are reading less and expecting more photos, videos, and other visual components. At the same time, it's important to create the right balance between text and images and not to go overboard with stimulation. Use high-quality images that enhance the text but don't overcrowd your page, and use real photos whenever is possible. Make sure you actually have the right to use those. You can go to different sites like iStock Photo. I don't get any commissions from them. And there's other ones out there where you can buy pictures for $3 to $6. The worst thing you want to do is use a picture that you got off the Internet because you thought it was free. It's been on your site for 9 months now, and somebody ends up suing you for using their picture, and whatever money you made, they could potentially attach or at least make the argument that but for that picture being on your site, that was part and parcel of why you made all that money, since the picture was on that site. And, I went to law school, so it's somewhat of a good legal argument, but you just make sure you own the pictures, own your content, don't plagiarize, don't just take other people's stuff. You can take someone's text, if it's like in your field, and then modify it and customize it, make sure it's yours, but, you don't want to just take someone's stuff and stick it up there because it looks good, because it will come back to bite you in the butt. Lastly, you want to make sure that your content is shareable. Get the most out of your social media today. To get the most out of your social media today, you must create content that's easily shareable. In order to include social media, so include social media icons on every page of your website. You may also want to allow users to share specific pieces of content on your site across multiple platforms as well. Every time somebody shares your content, not only does that mean that other people are going to see it, learn about you, and possibly utilize your services, but it also creates another backlink to your website, and backlinks are huge. As long as they're quality backlinks. Google changed their algorithms not too long ago because people were getting crappy, spammy backlinks from directories in China and India and Russia and all these other places where they had click farms. But if you have backlinks from quality websites, like we have a PBN service that's just crazy for $50 a month, and people get literally tens of thousands of backlinks. But if you have backlinks that are quality, that will really help you because that gives you the link juice, and that will pull you up in the rankings. It will pull you up as far as the algorithms go. So when Google is determining who they're going to pull up in their algorithms, you having all the backlinks must mean that people are linking to you, so whatever you're doing has to have quality, right? So it gives you a higher level of authority, so you come up higher in the rankings. And our service at $50 a month is just a no-brainer, and that's why we created it for $50 a month. But whatever you do, try to get backlinks, and especially like backlinks from .orgs and other organizations. I'm a member of a couple of chambers, and they allow users to post blog articles and videos and stuff. So I post there almost every day. I have a lot of content, and I just have my VAs post over there almost every day. The Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce, you go on their site and look up member news. You'll see a ton of my material. Again, totally free. Tips to grow Instagram, LinkedIn, websites, how to convert more, all this stuff. But what it does is it also creates backlinks, but you're getting a backlink from a .org, which is better, in some cases better than some .com. So, split up your backlinks. Anyhow, so you've gotten a ton of tips here, and like I said, these tips are going to be archived on WCAP 980 AM's website, and also RCS Technology Solutions.com and RCS Online Solutions.com. You feel free to contact us if you're ready to build a site and you want to make some real money here and have your site be user-friendly. Contact me at Ron, R-O-N, at rcstechnologysolutions.com. In our next episode, we're going to talk about how to use social media and increase your engagement to both attract, convert, and retain your ideal customers and clients. Thanks, guys.